Here's George Soros, KeyPrisonPlanet.com article. Climate colonialism. Soros wants poorer nations to take on green debt. That's what's in the new treaty. Suggest more crippling IMF loans to third world in the name of saving the planet. Billionaire George Soros has suggested that poorer nations be persuaded to take on what he describes as green loans in the name of combating climate change, a policy that would land the already crippled poor third world with even more debt payable to globalist institutions such as the IMF. Speaking yesterday at the Climate Change Summit in Copenhagen, the financier said that $100 billion should be provided in loans to poorer nations to help slowing global warming, loans taken from the West in carbon tax. The proposal would entail third world countries paying back interest to governments of the richer nations to stem a perceived crisis that they had little or no direct involvement in manufacturing. Soros said the loans could be backed by special drawing rights, a synthetic international currency issued by the International Monetary Fund. And that's the new global currency. You understand? A private IMF World Bank consortium will tax you and set up a world transportation authority to tax aircraft, ships, law of the sea treaty, Times of London today. 400 years of freedom on the seas are over. You watch the video on the site. They're saying they're going to restrict you eating meat. It gets worse, though. Here's the Wall Street Journal today. I pledge allegiance to global warming. British scientists caught faking science data and hiding the decline sign a government loyalty oath. They've gone around saying you have to sign a government loyalty oath confirming that you believe climate change is man-made. The Met Office, Britain's National Weather Service, has embarked on an urgent exercise to bolster the reputation of the climate change science in the wake of the whistleblower revelation of widespread misconduct by climate scientists, the London Times reports. More than 1,700 scientists have agreed to sign a statement defending the professional integrity of global warming research. They are responding to a round-robin request by the Met Office, which has spent 4 days collecting signatures. One scientist told the Times he felt under pressure to sign. The Met Office, and a major employer of scientists, has long had a policy of only appointing and working with those who subscribe to their views on man-made global warming. Yeah, you can't get a climate grant from government or big corporations or big oil. They're the main ones funding this fraud when the media says they're actually against it. The concept of scientists or journalists or artists signing a petition is ludicrous. The idea that they are lending their authority to whatever cause the petition represents. But in fact, they are undermining the authority, which is based on the presumption that they think for themselves. Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. And it just goes on and on and on. In fact, here are the deleted comments. I actually did print some of these at my house this morning. And it goes on to say, you make me ashamed of living in Canada. This is to the National Post. If you're firstborn, it's too bad your mother had you. If you're not, she would have started with you. You are a heartless, dirty woman, and a shame on you. Ask the Chinese people who fled their country and came to Canada and the U.S. exactly where they are here. Hang your head in shame. This is Malthusian junk science, is still proposed from time to time, speaks of the fact that some in academia just refuse to learn from empirical evidence. And now it's slipped into journalism. The management of the Financial Post should be quite embarrassed. I just stick to the Wall Street Journal and do not bother coming back here anymore. An editorial board that thinks this is worthy of publication couldn't possibly know how to edit a newspaper or website. Those who believe in global warming, one child may be a solution. Here in Iowa, USA, you may find a lot of folks who believe in global cooling. For us in the USA, it would be the opposite. We need as many babies as possible to grow up and work to pay for the rapidly disappearing Social Security and Medicare system. See, I am some of the first comments I saw at a Paul Watson to put in an article, and then they removed them off the newspaper. Here's some more. I knew it. According to Wikipedia, Miss Francis is married with 2 children. Typical liberal. They're not liberal, folks. They're eugenicists. Telling others how to live while not doing it yourself. It's like Ted Turner has 5 kids but says you shouldn't be able to have any. Or paying for it either. Audit this fool. This reporter is a complete nut job. I can't believe anyone in North American country would actually believe in this as a legitimate idea. And by the way, China's policy has had major consequences. Many girl babies were aborted and killed. And due to the scarcity of Chinese women, Chinese men are paying through the nose to obtain bribes. Therefore, lives are unfulfilled, and the Chinese population decreases much further than any they ever desired. Who does this person think she is? Why doesn't she do everyone a favor and start thinning the herd by killing herself? It's hard to believe that this opinionated rant is called journalism. I saw no evidence of journalistic balance, fairness, or objectivity. She made no mention of the grave problems caused by the one-child policy in China, including forced abortions, sterilizations, heavy fines, disparate sex ratio, infanticide on females, increased in mental health problems, including Chinese women's suicide rates. Thank God I saved those before they went down the memory hole. I mean, it's incredible. I come into the office, I go, print the comments from that. Every comment's against them. And then they print it, and all the comments against her are deleted. And I guarantee you the newspaper's there under dummy accounts going, oh, yes, I love your article. It's so wonderful. Let's kill everyone. All these years, they said there was no world government. All these years, they said we were kooks. And then now they openly call for a planetary regime to force one-child policies on everyone. Oh, man, I'll take a few final calls in the final segment. What an incredible week. Back Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central with the abbreviated Sunday transmission. Get angry, get focused, get aggressive. Start getting in these people's faces. Let them know that we're fully aware that eugenics sprung out of England and the U.S., was picked up by Hitler, and that these control freaks want a planetary dictatorship to cull our numbers.